Hey everybody, it's me, John Anthony Chihawk Soltero. I am the anti-hero, and this is kind of a special-ish Thanksgiving episode. It's going to be real quick. But first, 5-day weekend, so I got to put the X's on. Um, and I think I did a really quick video of this somewhere else, Instagram or something like that. People, sometimes people ask me, why do I X my hands? Well, um, the obvious answer, first off, is I'm straight edge. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I do take medications for behavioral health. There are some people in the straight edge community and thought process who say that that means you're not straight edge because you're taking prescription drugs. Um, I don't feel that way because these medications are being done under the guise of a doctor. They're not mind altering in the way that we traditionally think of mind altering. I'm not getting a trip off of it. It's just trying to bring me to a point where I can function on a regular basis. And in that, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, and this is something that I'm vehemently against in terms of there being one day for you to be thankful for stuff. There's lots of things to be thankful for, and this year has been really hard for a lot of people in so many different ways, whether it was getting sick, whether it was having a family member or a friend get sick, somebody passing away because of this virus, losing work, having your hours cut. There are so many different things in this world, and so many people being affected in different ways. I kind of wanted to just say thank you to everybody who watches my videos, who is subscribed to my videos. A big shout out goes to Jimmy at Small Town Collectibles. He gave me a shout out this week. I've gotten quite a few new followers and likes and subscribers, which means a lot to me. And he also showed the Bubba Patrol on his channel today or Wednesday, and it was just really nice. Like, I mean, he gave me a shout out. I said thank you. It was just like, that was really great of you. I'm already starting to, get a couple of new subscribers, and a lot of them. The really cool thing about this is because when it's working well, when somebody shouts you out, new subs don't just like sub in. They left comments saying, "Hey, I'm a new sub. Small Town Collectibles recommended I check you out," which is awesome because it's almost like running an advertisement, and it says, "Tell them so and so sent you," or reference this ad, or something like that. So thank you, Jimmy. Really means a lot. The fact that you reached out and asked how you could get a hold of the Bubba Patrol was really awesome in getting it out to you. And then also the I guess kind of the neat dichotomy is, you saying, I didn't know if I would like it. I didn't think I would like it because it's not something just based on how it looks that I would pick up on the shelves. But the fact that you liked it is really awesome, and it means a lot to me because a lot of blood, sweat, and tears literally went into that. Like, I'm not joking. Like, a lot of sleepless nights, especially with issue 3. Depression, crying. I mean, pouring over the work in and of itself, anxiety and stuff like that. And I'm sure I probably, skinned my knuckles or, cut myself doing something while making the book. So, like, literal blood, sweat, and tears went into the production of that. And so to have somebody reach out and express interest and then want to pick it up, and then like show it fully, like showed all the covers on your channel and then put the links in and stuff like that. And I think I just got another notification right now of another sub, so right before doing this. However, one of the things I'm thankful for is working in social work. It gets frustrating sometimes. There's a lot of calls that come in. There's resources we can't do anything about. There's so many people who call in that we cannot help because there just either is such a finite number of resources, or there's just not a resource for what that individual or family might be looking for. And that's always hard to tell somebody no, or I'm sorry. Um, there's two things I'm thankful for. I am thankful for having a job in social work because uh, during the pandemic, like, we're essential. And I don't know what I would do mental health wise if I was staying at home. You know, whether or not I was able to collect any sort of benefit or unemployment or whatever, like, that's not good for me to have that much free time on my hands. So I am very thankful for that, and I'm actually thankful for a client, somebody who called in just yesterday or Tuesday, as it were, um, because I was getting kind of complacent on the phone with them, and they called me out on it. Like, this lady was just like, "I don't appreciate the way you're speaking to me," and I was just kind of brushing them off a little bit because I was just so tired, and I was, not focusing on what I should have been focusing on. So sometimes you got to be grateful for messing up and somebody catching you. Um, so those are two things I'm thankful for. And even though I don't have somebody in my life, somebody special in my life, like, I am grateful for some of the friends that I've made over the last couple of years who have stuck by me. I'm not an easy person to get along with most of the time. I'm very sarcastic. I'm very sardonic. I am blunt and straightforward, and I'm honest to a fault, as my dad says, and that gets me into trouble sometimes. So for the new people that I've met and the new people who have chosen to stick around, um, you guys are awesome. They don't watch this channel, so naming them would be kind of goofy. But Morris and Tiffany specifically, you guys rock. Just the different things you've done for me in helping me grow non-con, and the support, and just your friendship means a whole lot to me. Andrea and Johnny, you guys are awesome. The support of the book and buying cameos in it and helping here with things at the house. Um, and Bill Simpson, is, not just his friendship, but his willingness to help with issue 3 of the Bubba Patrol, um, was amazing. Um, I'm also very thankful for the continued good relationship I have with my sister. And it started back about halfway through 2018. And she started opening up about different things that were going on in her life. And her and I have never really talked that much. And a lot of times, I wouldn't say growing up, but a lot of times, like, in my 20s and into my 30s and stuff, when my sister would come to town, she'd be gone for a couple of years at a time because she always lived somewhere else. She'd come in for a holiday or something like that, and we would get to see each other, during whatever thing was going on, and within about 15 minutes, it was just like, okay, see ya. I'll see you in another 3 or 4 years. Um, because we both pushed each other's buttons. And I mean, in a way, we still do, but it's usually in a really, really good way. She's been a wonderful support for me. She's edited a number of my Bubble Patrol issues, and she's really good at what she does. She's a great yoga teacher. She's a good big sister, and I'm just really glad to have her in my life. And I'm grateful for the Bubbas. Um, just gave them baths tonight, so they smell like peaches. So we call them Mr. Peaches and Mr. Peaches. And Grayson said he wanted to be called Senior Peaches. So it's Mr. Peaches and Senior Peaches. And it's because they have a shampoo that smells a little bit like peaches. So tomorrow, when they go with me to Grandma's house, like, Grandma will smell them and be like, "Do you smell like peaches?" And I'm really grateful for my mom and my stepdad. Um, and not to push my stepdad aside, but I'm super grateful for my mom because um, I mean, without her, I definitely wouldn't still be here. You know, my dad as well. Both her and him have been rocks and stalwarts in my corner for a long, long time. Even at times when my dad and I didn't get along or weren't close or communicative, I know now that he loved me in his own way and he showed support in his own way. It wasn't always easy for him, and knowing more about his, I don't want to say his past because that sounds weird, um, but knowing about his life's journey, it it really, I have a even more respect for him that he was able to do the things that he was able to do. I can't imagine doing them. Like, I might have lofty goals in the same way, but I don't know if I would have been as fearless as him to kind of just do that. Just like my sister, same thing. Like, had goals, and she has accomplished a lot of them, and a lot of it just had to do with just, you can't do that here. Um, and now that I'm in my 40s and I'm a homeowner, it's not as easy to just be like, well, whatever. I'm going to go to LA, or I'm going to go to New York, or that ain't going to happen. But there are ways for me to still be fearless and do those things. Um, and part of that is the Bubba Patrol. Part of that is non-con. Part of that is doing my artwork and getting it out there and doing this channel. And if I reach a few people and a few people see it and like it and share it and subscribe to it and stuff like that, then that's great. It's just another way for my voice to be heard, and it's another way for me to process everything, which is one of the reasons why I tend to ramble along on a lot of my videos. This was supposed to be 2 minutes of me like being like, this is the sketch cover I've worked on and that I tried to show you in the last video and it didn't show up very well. um I talk, and I talk out loud, and these videos really help in that manner, um, because I have a very hard time internalizing like thought processes. I'll get stuck on something, and it'll play like a skipped record, where you'll hear the same thing over and over again, and it's very hard to move past that. And that's very much the mental health aspect of what I do. I did used to drink. I did used to smoke. I never really did drugs, kind of thing. But making those choices to move beyond that, um, the best choices I ever made in my entire life, I have to say, because it allows me to think as clearly as I can possibly think. And sometimes I sit with those emotions, and it's very, very hard. But at the same time, I would rather feel absolutely everything. Like, I can say this now. I would rather feel every bit of pain, because I also get to feel all that happiness and joy. Those accomplishments, they mean more. And those hard days aren't always hard, because there are good days too. Coming home to the Bubbas, and I'm grateful for those little guys, because even though this year has been hard with Foley's diagnosis with cancer, and you know, I don't know how much longer there is, but he gets to run around. He's been running around in his Jingle Boy collar like all year long, and getting to. I'm even thankful, and this sounds really, really strange. I'm thankful that that hard drive fell and broke, and I'm thankful for that, because it made me face something very hard, which is something I didn't think I could do, in having to redo the entire issue. That issue 3 of the Bubba Patrol, was more important to me than anything I've ever done before. And each issue's always been important, but issue 3, because it's the story of Cypress and bringing everything full circle with the anti-hero verse. I didn't think I could recover, and I did, and I made it better than it was. And had that hard drive not fallen, and I didn't have to redo the entire thing, it would have already been at press when Foley was diagnosed, and there would have been nothing else I could have done about it. So it also gave me the opportunity to give Foley his special moment. And I'm going to show that page to you right now, because Well, I'm going to cover this part up because I don't want you to see this page so it doesn't ruin anything. But this is the page. This is Foley getting his Mr. Whoopi cape. And this is the process of it. Agnew pulls the cape out and he takes it over to Foley, who's very excited. And he ties it around his neck gently. And he puts the safety pin in place. And he shakes his hand and he tells him to wear it with pride. Foley says he will. And then presenting Mr. Whoopi to the entire world. And he's my little superhero. He's my special little guy. And had everything gone according to plan, just like in this intro, I couldn't have done that if everything had gone according to plan. And that's just all there is to it. So one of the other things I'm thankful for, and I'll get to my mom, and probably do a video tomorrow, otherwise I'll be here for another 45 minutes talking about her. I'm thankful for all the people who backed the campaign. Whether it was $5, whether it was $100, with a couple of people it was more than that because they came back and they backed multiple perks, which really made a difference and meant a lot to me. The very first person who backed the campaign was my best friend from high school, Demetrius. And he backed the custom Bubba cover. And so this is what I've been working on today. And it is, of course, Weapon Agnew. Agnew is always, I guess he's always had a parallel to Wolverine, but no more than when he put on his ninja costume for issue 1 of the Bubba Patrol, and it was originally going to be this jet black costume, and while coloring it, I was just like, you can't do that because it won't look good. So I turned it into the tiger stripe. I think that's the tiger stripe one. Yeah, the yellow and blue Wolverine costume. And I last year around this time, I got on a Weapon Elsa kick where I was just wanting to draw like X-23 and Elsa just running around with, you know, claws out and stuff like that. So this is my first opportunity to draw Agnew as Weapon Agnew, and it's for my buddy Demetrius who backed the campaign. So this is a really special sketch cover as well. Demi's cover of Agnew and Cypress eating Vienna sausages. Demi wanted something that was story related. So it's a scene that doesn't show up in the story, but he gets like his own custom scene with that. And then I did one for Mike, a doctor who I met through Charlie's Comics, and he backed the campaign for a sketch cover as well. And he wanted his dog Bucky. So I drew Bucky as, of course, the Winter Soldier, and he had like the little metal arm with the red star, but the points on the star weren't points. They were the edges of the dog bone, like the rounded marrow joint parts of the dog bone. And he's holding in his mouth like a striped Frisbee with an A on it. And he's just kind of looking at the camera like, okay. And then if you open it up, on the back cover is Agnew, and he had just like whipped the Frisbee at Bucky, and he's wearing like a little Captain Agnew costume because he's got the A on the head, but he's got like little antenna. They're not wings, just little antenna. And he's got an A on his chest instead of a star, so he's Captain Agnew. But I'm thankful for the people who backed the campaign, and I have one more backer book to do, and it's for my friend Jessica, whose cat Tuna we raised money for a little bit ago because he had to have some pretty extensive surgery, and he's doing good, and so she wants a cover with Tuna on it, and so I'll figure out something pretty cute to do with that. And Doc sent me a picture today of Bucky posed with the comic book, so I'm just super grateful for that and thankful. And I'm also thankful that next week, I think the Bubbas the calendar with the Bubbas comes in. So when that becomes available, like I'll try to drop the link in there. But thank you so much to Small Town Collectibles. Uh, Jimmy, it really brightened my week. I believe you sent me a shout out last week, and then you did it again this week, and then you showed the books on your channel, which really means a lot to me. Check him out. His channel link will be in the description below, and just take care of yourselves, guys. I know this year has been very difficult. It's going to get better. It will. And right now we're going through another wave of everything, and sometimes it seems hopeless. And I know for myself in other ways it has seemed that way as well. But I assure you, we got to just keep fighting, and we've got to keep observing everything, and being careful, but not afraid. I think that's the key. You should be cautious. You should be careful. You should be considerate. And that means wearing a mask, and that means washing your hands, and that means not touching people and minding your personal space, which we should be doing anyways. It should just be a consideration we give each other. But not breathing on each other, not intentionally, being upset with people or getting in people's faces because they're trying to do their jobs, or they're just trying to mind their own business and do their own thing. This world is harsh enough as it is without those complications, and without the complications of this virus going on. So if we all just take a moment to breathe to ourselves, keep the breath to yourself, but breathe and relax and remember, we can and we will get through this. And this is something that I say to people a lot, and I don't know how true it rings for them, but it rings very true for me. We will not get through this because we're smart enough or because we're strong enough. We will get through this because we have to. The fact that we're smart enough and we're strong enough are going to help with that, but we're going to get through this because we have to. So until next time, please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other. Stay anti-hero strong.